Hey everyone, this is Erika Szabo, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a video about a very special system that a lot of people want and a lot of people can't get, and that is the NES Classic. Even here in Toronto, that system is just plain sold out. Like, you can't get it, and in the video game store I work at, I constantly get phone calls from people asking me if we have it. Now, I believe the only place you can really find the system is on eBay, and it's being priced at like ludicrous amounts. So I've been talking to some of my coworkers about this system and about its particular library. It has 30 games and that's about it. There's really nothing else you can add to it. And when I was looking at the library, I was thinking, sure, there's a lot of really great titles on here, but there's also a lot of stuff that we're missing. And like really strange ones that we're missing too. Ones that were definitely classics for many people, yet for some reason aren't included. You know, maybe they're not included because of licensing reasons, but it's Nintendo. They really have money to be able to do stuff like that. I have no idea though. I don't know like the specifics about this sort of stuff. Now, I personally don't have an NES Classic because, frankly, I work in a video game store that sells a lot of those games, or I already have them, and I already have an NES here, and I'm plenty happy with my NES. If you like the NES Classic, or if you have your own, that's awesome, that's cool, but this video is going to be about my particular NES Classic drops and swaps. So, you know, no offense to any of the games that are going to be listing here, but I'm going to be listing 5 games that I think could have been swapped out. Now, I'm not really going to give you any reasons as to like why I'm swapping them out. I'd like to think that my swaps will be a bit more self-explanatory and show you why those ones should be in the library rather than the ones that I'm dropping. So those games are Pac-Man, Galaga, Balloon Fight, Ice Climber, and Super C. I have my reasons, you know, I mean, like when it comes to games like Pac-Man and Galaga, I don't know, like maybe not on the Nintendo Classic, maybe on a different system, you know? I don't really think of Nintendo when I think of those games. Ice Climber, it's just a preference thing. I just think that there's better games that can be on that list. Super C, I'll get to that. Balloon Fight, I'm indifferent. So no offense to anybody who likes any of those 5 games, this is just my personal picks. So now let's get to what my swaps would be. Now, the first no-brainer on my list is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game. While the absence of anything TMNT is probably license related, it's hard to imagine why a company as big as Nintendo couldn't pull some strings. This much-loved series and game was a fun, lighthearted brawler full of charm and addicting co-op action. I would have absolutely loved to see that one on the NES Classic. The second choice is kind of a no-brainer, and it's really strange. That is Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse. This one is especially weird because the fact that Castlevania 1 and 2 are on the Classic, and yet for some reason Dracula's Curse isn't, and that's strange. That's very strange. You know, no offense to Simon's Quest, but frankly, Dracula's Curse is a far superior game with its straightforward action of the first game, while fusing that with an emphasis in puzzle solving and exploration. It's easily the best of the 3, yet absent. Next up, I've got one cult favorite, I would say. You know, maybe not like a mass favorite, but definitely one that's loved by many, and that is River City Ransom. You know, it's sometimes regarded as the best brawler on the NES. Sorry, Double Dragon. River City Ransom takes the genre to a whole new level with its free-roaming world full of books, burgers, and sushi status boosts, which add an RPG element to the mix. Pair that with the game's highly entertaining co-op, and you've got yourself a fun, cheeky title that really deserves to be part of the library. Now, with beat-em-ups in mind, Battletoads is another very strong contender within the genre, oftentimes considered to be one of the most challenging yet rewarding. Rare pushed the NES to its limits with this game thanks to its bright colors, equally vibrant music, and sense of humor. Gotta love Rare for that. It's still a surprise that it wasn't featured in this library, considering what a presence it made to so many. Now, last but certainly not least, and this has to do specifically with Super C, and that is Contra. While many might debate which is the better of the two, Contra or Super C, I firmly believe that Contra's extra attention to detail, varied levels, as well as the inclusion of the much-loved Konami code add quite a bit more substance to the experience. I know a lot of people who would have rather had Contra compared to Super C. I also know a lot of people who feel otherwise, but I don't know. I think Contra was really where it was at, and Nintendo did not deliver. Now, there are plenty more games that I would have loved to see on the NES Classic, and maybe it would have made me want to buy the system more, or maybe if there was, you know, some sort of upgradable abilities to the system, but it seems like that's just not happening, which then also affects the lifeline of the system in general. You know, so many people are, you know, swarming for this, but really when you think about it, there's only 30 games and there's just so many more that could have been chosen. I'm really interested in seeing what happens with the NES Classic and seeing if and when Nintendo's going to be releasing their second wave. Nintendo's got a bit of a track record where they release too small amounts of particular things, whether we're talking about the Pokemon Go bracelet, like where's their second wave of that, or even amiibos. You know, there's just countless experiences like this, and there's countless opportunities for Nintendo to maybe, you know, be there for their fans a little bit more. So, you know, I'm gonna stick with this baby here. I'm gonna stick with my NES and play all these games. But I would love to hear what some of your swaps and drops would be. That'd be awesome. You can leave those in the comments below. If you want to stick to 5, 5's a pretty good number. Keep in mind, I'm probably also going to be doing a top 30 games I would love to see on a Super Nintendo Classic. That's really difficult because the Super Nintendo in particular has a gigantic library of amazing games, but I thought it'd be a really fun two-parter to do. I might do some others as well if y'all are interested. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all later, okay? Alright, peace.